How's it going? So I decided that I'd make a YouTube video of making a rack for my Ranger in case I wanted to put it out there. If not, I'll just have these videos. But anyway, I just got a 1000 Polaris Ranger 1000 XP, and I had an 800. I'll try to put a picture of my 800 in the video. But anyway, it had a front basket on it, and it's probably the most handy tool on it. Probably used that front basket more than I did my winch. So when I got my 1000, obviously it's got the lock and ride frame and not the round pipe roll cage like the 800 did. So I had to figure out a way to do that, and I did some research online, and what I came up with was sandwiching plate between the frame mount and the roll cage. So you can see here I've got some, what is that, 16th inch plate, maybe 8th. Pretty sturdy. Sandwiched it between the two bolts on the frame, and now what I'm doing is, since I kind of cut those out and I didn't get to keep a straight edge, I'm setting a board up here, and I'm going to get my level out, check the level, and we'll go from there. So if you're anything like me, it's always a surprise when you have to cut metal and get everything bolted up if you manage to get it anywhere close to being level. But on a 4-foot level, that's pretty close for me. So now what I'm going to do is I'll probably leave these on here for a day or two, and I'm going to use 1-inch square tubing and expanded metal, and that's what I'll make the cage out of. So I'll post more videos when we have time. Thanks. So here we are, night 2, working on this. As you can see, I've got it level. What I ended up doing is I went and got some 1x1 angle, and that's what I'm going to use as my platform for my basket. It's really kind of hot. But you can see that thin metal, man. When we put that angle on there, it gets pretty tight. So anyway, I'm going to get the other one on and get it leveled up, and then tomorrow night, or whenever I have time to work on it again, we'll start the basket. All right. So there's why I made it the dimensions that I did. You can stick 2 boxes of shotgun. You'll be able to stick 2 boxes of shotgun shells in there, side by side, when it's done. So, all right, I'm gonna take this in place and set it up on the Ranger and see how it looks. So I think that's going to be about right. It's going to have to move out this way a little bit, but I thought I measured right, and turns out I'm about, was that 3/8 off? So luckily taking my own advice, I only tacked it in place. So a couple of quick cuts with the old cutoff wheel, and I'll trim this down and get it just right. So I don't know how I mismeasured, but that's my kind of MO. I mismeasure on a lot of stuff. So, but anyway, you can kind of see how it's going to look, and then I'm going to come up, say 5 inches, and that'll be the basket. So got some expanded metal that I'll put in there, wrap the frame, and then here there, that piece of angle iron's under here, so I'll probably run a bolt through there on either side, and then that'll be it. Paint it, take it all off, paint it all black. So anyway, I'll keep posting pictures and videos. So I got it fixed. Everything lines up nice. Lines up. I think you see it pretty nice. So yeah, I think that's where she'll sit. And I'm gonna go ahead make the other one. If it lines up perfect, I may already got that stuff cut. Just have to trim off a 1/4 inch off those two, and then I'll have to cut 4 risers. But yeah, I'm gonna try to get all that stuff knocked out tonight. So, well, I got it tacked together, and I got it clamped up there, and I'm looking at it. I don't know. I really like the other one, but I'm not crazy about this one. It's actually smaller than the other one, maybe a little taller, but I don't know. I may tear it apart and make it not as, shrink it a little bit. But yeah, that's it for tonight. So I slept on it, and I decided that I didn't like it. It is too tall. So what I've decided to do, I called the guy that bought my 800, and I asked him if he would measure that other rack, and it turns out that that rack is only 4 inches tall. I thought it was much taller than that. Turns out I was wrong. So let that be a lesson. Learn from my mistakes. Tack everything up, test fit, and go about it that way. So that way you can make changes, and you're not, completely tearing something apart, full welds, all that kind of stuff, where you're having to literally either scrap it or start over. So I'm going to get started and cut it down, cut this down 2 inches, retack it back together, and the next video will be where I'm got it back on the Ranger. So here we go. Well, what do you think? I cut it down and I leveled it out and got everything situated the way I think it needs to be. I think it looks a lot better. When I get the expanded metal on it, I think that it will turn out how I need it. My biggest concern is that I don't want anything to bounce out of it. However, the other rack that I built, nothing ever really bounced out of it. So, and this Ranger is a whole lot smoother. Next step will be to finish weld up everything, and once I kind of get everything finished welded up on the frame, then I'll start the expanded metal. I've got a buddy coming over this weekend, and I think he's going to make one for his father-in-law's Ranger. So that's where we are. Once I get the finished welds done, I think that's going to be it for a while. And then obviously when I get with him, we'll get the expanded metal out and kind of get everything tacked on and go from there. So next video will be the expanded metal and final assembly. So thanks for watching. So I'm getting closer. I got it skinned, got everything tacked in place. I went ahead and did solid plates on the end. I don't really think the expanded metal does much good here, and I think the plate does a much better job. It's cleaner on the ends and stuff like that, so that's why I did that. So next step, I got some sharp angles I got to grind down, and grind down all these welds, and then brush it and get it ready for paint. So keep following along. Well, good people, there she be. I used a bolt. If I can see it, there we go. And through bolting through the bottom tube and hit the angle iron. I think I'm going to ride around with it for a few days just to see how I like it. Make sure I don't want to make any final changes. I am glad that I ended up going with, you know, a piece of sheet metal here versus the expanded metal. I think when it's all black, it'll look better that way. And I do like, better than how the other one was, that these bolts, see this got a little bit off, but it's right where I want it. So I do like how I can take it off and I can leave my mounting points on there, and if I ever don't want it on there or want some KC lights or something like that, I can just mount them right there. So we get up in the it's right here, you know, get in. Everything still works. I can get into all my glove compartment stuff. And, you know, a lot of people have asked me, well, don't you want a windshield? No, I don't. I've got one right there for my wife's 800 Crew, and I don't like them. They're handy about 2 months a year in East Texas. And then all the other times are just a pain in the rear. So, yep, there we go. I will post a final video, or the final part of this video, let me say it that way, will be the painted version of it, and I'll wash the Ranger and everything and kind of take some pictures of it. So, anyway, if you've made it this far, I appreciate it, and if I ever do any more, we'll go from there. All right, 1 or 2 more segments of this video, and we'll go from there. Thanks. Well, there you have it, boys and girls. All painted black. I didn't go high gloss, I went semi-gloss. And I think it turned out all right. Try to get back, kind of see the whole. As per usual with me, I got impatient on the paint and boogered it up. But I'll hunt with it this season, and then at the end of duck season, at the end of hunting season, I'll take it all apart and repaint it, and when I have nothing better to do. So anyway, so like and comment and tell me what you think. Tell me what I did wrong. Yes, I know that I'm not a welder. Yes, I know my welds aren't that pretty. So anyway, I'm excited to see what you think. This will be my first YouTube video, and we may do some more. Depends on how this goes. Thanks, guys.